A routine veterinary visit turns into chaos when a mare goes into labor under unusual circumstances. To everyone's astonishment, she doesn't give birth to a foal, leading to events that are hard to comprehend. Prepare for a suspenseful tale filled with mystery and an unexpected twist that will challenge your perception of reality. The wind howled through the tall trees, sending sheets of rain slamming against Dr. Marcus Hayes's truck windshield. The headlights cut through the darkness of the narrow, muddy road as he held the steering wheel firmly. This wasn't his first stormy call, but something felt amiss this time. The urgency in the voice of Victor, the ranch owner, had been palpable. "My mare Bella is in labor, but something's wrong," he had pleaded. "Please come quickly." Without hesitation, Marcus, an experienced veterinarian, packed his emergency kit and set off, though the storm added an unsettling vibe to the night. Eventually, he spotted the dim light of a barn in the distance, its outline barely visible through the rain. Victor awaited him at the barn door, looking anxious with his tall frame and rugged features. As Marcus exited the truck, Victor said, "Dr. Hayes, she's inside." Marcus grabbed his bag and followed Victor into the barn, where the warm, earthy scent of hay mingled with the metallic aroma of rain-soaked wood. Bella, the striking chestnut mare, lay on her side in a spacious stall, breathing heavily, sweat darkening her coat, her eyes wide with fear. "She's been agitated all day," Victor explained, his hands fidgeting. "Then she collapsed a few hours ago. I've never seen her like this." Kneeling beside Bella, Marcus felt her swollen belly. "It's definitely time," he stated, his voice steady but assertive. "Let's prepare her." As he got ready for the delivery, a nagging sense of unease lingered. Bella's vital signs appeared stable, yet there was an unusual intensity in her movements, as if she were battling something beyond labor pains. The rain grew stronger, hammering against the barn roof like a countdown. "Have there been any complications during her pregnancy?" Marcus asked, casting a glance at Victor. Victor hesitated, avoiding eye contact. "No, nothing out of the ordinary." Marcus observed him closely but chose to remain silent, focusing on Bella as her contractions intensified. He guided her through the process, offering soothing words. "You're doing well, girl." Minutes dragged into an hour as labor continued. Finally, Bella released a deep, shuddering cry, and as Marcus reached for the newborn, he froze. It wasn't a foal. The creature was enveloped in a slick membrane, its body oddly proportioned with legs bent at strange angles, and its coat shimmered faintly under the dim barn light. But it was the creature's eyes that made Marcus's breath hitch, large, unblinking, and filled with an unsettling intelligence. Victor stood frozen, his complexion pale. What is that?" he stammered. Marcus couldn't respond, his hands shaking as he cradled the bizarre being. It let out a faint, melodic sound unlike anything he had heard from any animal. "It's alive," Marcus whispered, astonished. Victor stepped closer, his expression shifting to one of urgency. "This must remain a secret," he insisted. "No one can know." Marcus turned to him, his expression hardening. "Victor, what are you hiding? What is this?" Just then, Bella emitted a low, mournful whinny, pulling both men's focus back to her. The mare's breathing grew shallow, and she trembled in distress. Marcus gently set the creature down and rushed to Bella's side, instinctively working to stabilize her. As he did, the creature began to move, its unsteady legs bringing it closer to Victor, who seemed caught between fear and recognition. Marcus watched, dumbfounded, as the creature did something that left him speechless. It stood in the soft barn light, moving slowly yet purposefully, its legs finding balance as it focused its large, shimmering eyes on Victor. The atmosphere thickened with tension as it emitted another haunting, melodic sound that sent chills through Marcus. Victor stepped back, his face a mask of fear. This is impossible," he muttered. "What do you mean, Victor?" Marcus pressed, urgency creeping into his voice. He knelt beside Bella, trying to stabilize her while keeping an eye on the strange newborn. "What's happening here?" Victor remained silent, his gaze fixated on the creature, dread and recognition clashing within him. Frustration boiled in Marcus. He was a veterinarian, not a detective, but whatever was unfolding defied his experience. Bella let out another weak whinny, drawing Marcus's focus back to her. "She's in shock," he stated, his voice resolute. "We need to calm her and keep her warm." Victor snapped out of his daze and tossed a blanket to Marcus. They draped it over Bella, but her condition remained critical. Marcus worked swiftly, administering fluids and checking her vitals, while the creature approached Bella, its legs guiding it steadily. "Keep it away from her," Victor shouted, panic in his voice. Marcus looked up, frowning. "It's her offspring," he replied. "Whatever it is, it's connected to her." Victor shook his head, fists clenched. "That isn't her foal," he said, his voice low and filled with dread. The creature paused a few feet from Bella, observing her closely. Then, to Marcus's amazement, it produced a soft, almost humming sound. Bella's trembling began to ease, her breathing calming. Marcus blinked, trying to comprehend the scene. "It's soothing her," he said, awe creeping into his voice. Victor's expression darkened. "You don't understand," he insisted. "This thing is unnatural. It shouldn't exist." Marcus straightened, irritation flaring. "Then explain it to me," he demanded. "What are you not telling me, Victor?" Victor hesitated, glancing towards the barn door as if weighing his words. Finally, he sighed heavily. "This ranch wasn't always mine," he began. "I inherited it from my uncle, a researcher obsessed with pushing limits, genetics, hybridization. He experimented on animals, including horses." Marcus felt his stomach drop. "You're saying this creature is the result of some experiments?" Victor nodded grimly. "I shut it all down when I took over, but some remnants lingered. Bella must have been exposed." The weight of Victor's admission hung heavily in the air. Marcus turned his attention back to the creature, now standing protectively beside Bella. Its iridescent coat gleamed softly, and its large eyes seemed to convey a depth of understanding that surpassed that of a mere newborn. "This alters everything," Marcus murmured, his voice a whisper. "We can't just conceal this." Victor's eyes narrowed. "We have no choice. If this leaks, the repercussions." He was interrupted by a loud crash. Both men turned toward the barn door where a group of shadowy figures stood, outlined against the stormy night. One stepped forward, his voice cold and authoritative. "We're here for the asset." As the figures entered the barn, Marcus positioned himself protectively in front of Bella and the creature. Victor's face twisted in fear, but he remained still. "Who are they?" Marcus demanded, heart racing. The leader stepped closer, his expression unreadable. "Step aside, Doctor. This isn't your fight." The barn echoed with the sound of heavy boots squelching in the mud as the figures advanced. The leader, a tall man clad in a black coat, fixed his cold gaze on Marcus. "Step aside, Doctor," he repeated, calm yet commanding. "That creature is the culmination of extensive research, and it belongs to us." Marcus's heart raced as he looked at Victor, who had gone pale. "What's happening, Victor?" he pressed. "Who are these people?" "They're part of it," Victor said, trembling. "My uncle's research didn't die with him. They've been monitoring the ranch, waiting for a moment like this." Marcus turned back to the leader, jaw clenched. "This is a living being, not just an asset. I won't let you take it." The leader's expression remained unchanged. "We're not here to debate ethics, Doctor. That creature is our property." Before Marcus could reply, the creature let out a low melodic hum that resonated through the barn. The sound was both soothing and eerie, as if it possessed an intelligence beyond Marcus's understanding. The figures hesitated, their movements faltering in response to the sound. "It's influencing them," Marcus realized, glancing at the intruders. For a fleeting moment, the tension in the barn dissipated, as if the creature's mere presence could alter the mood. Seizing the opportunity, Victor grabbed Marcus's arm, pulling him toward Bella. "We need to get her out of here," Victor urged. "If they take the creature, they'll eliminate her too. She's evidence." Marcus' mind raced. Though Bella was still weak, leaving her with these intruders was unthinkable. He grabbed a halter and carefully placed it over Bella's head. "We need to move quickly," he whispered. Sensing their urgency, the creature moved closer to Bella, pressing its strange, shimmering body against hers. Bella emitted a soft whinny, her breathing stabilizing as the creature hummed again. As Marcus and Victor guided Bella toward the side door of the barn, the leader snapped out of his daze. "Stop them," he ordered sharply, and the figures swiftly blocked the exit, one aiming a tranquilizer gun at Bella. Marcus advanced, raising his hands in a placating gesture. "If you shoot her, she'll die," he warned. "She's just starting to recover from labor." The leader hesitated, glancing between Marcus and the creature. "Then give us the asset," he insisted. "You have no idea what you're dealing with." "I know enough," Marcus retorted. "This isn't merely an experiment. It's alive, and I won't allow you to treat it like an object." Just as tensions rose, the creature intervened. It stepped forward, legs trembling yet resolute, releasing a piercing harmonic cry that resonated through the air. The intruders froze, their weapons dropping as they clutched their heads in agony. "What is it doing?" Victor whispered, fear evident in his voice. Marcus didn't respond, too focused on the creature, whose shimmering coat pulsed with an inner glow. Bella remained calm beside it, a stark contrast to the turmoil surrounding them. Seizing the moment of disarray, Marcus and Victor led Bella out of the barn and into the storm. The rain hammered down as they hurried toward the truck, with the creature following, its movements unsteady but purposeful, as if it grasped the urgency of their flight. Marcus opened the truck's back gate, making space for Bella and the creature. "We'll take them to my clinic," he declared, voice steady despite the chaos. Victor hesitated, glancing back at the barn. "You don't know what you're getting yourself into, Marcus," he warned. "This isn't over." Marcus settled into the driver's seat, jaw clenched. "Maybe not," he replied, "but I won't let them take either of them." As they sped through the storm, headlights appeared in the rearview mirror. The pursuers were gaining speed. Marcus tightened his grip on the wheel, mind racing. How far was he willing to go to protect Bella and the enigmatic creature? The truck skidded on the slick, muddy road as he pressed the accelerator. The headlights loomed closer, illuminating the shadowy figures behind them. The storm raged, rain pounding against the windshield, obscuring his view. "Faster!" Victor shouted from the passenger seat, panic evident in his voice as he glanced back at Bella and the creature, barely visible through the fogged window. "I'm going as fast as I can," Marcus replied, heart racing. He couldn't shake the thought of Bella and the creature's fragile state. Their survival depended on outrunning their pursuers. The road twisted through dense woods that seemed to close in around them. The truck jolted over a pothole, causing Bella to whinny in distress. The creature emitted a low melodic hum, as if attempting to soothe her. Marcus quickly checked the rearview mirror. The pursuers were closing in, their headlights slicing through the storm. "We can't keep this up," Victor said, fear creeping into his voice. "They'll catch us." Marcus knew the back roads well, but every turn felt risky in this weather. Then he had an idea. "There's an old service trail up ahead," he suggested. "It's rough, but it might slow them down." Victor agreed, gripping the dashboard as Marcus sharply veered onto a narrow, overgrown path. Branches scraped against the truck, while the tires struggled for grip on the muddy surface. The headlights behind them swerved but remained on their tail. The storm intensified, lightning flashing and illuminating the forest in blinding bursts. Each flash revealed the relentless pursuit of the intruders, their vehicles jostling over the uneven ground. Marcus gritted his teeth, pushing the truck harder than ever. Suddenly, the creature let out another piercing cry, a sound sharp and otherworldly that seemed to slice through the storm. Marcus and Victor flinched at the noise, but the intruders reacted immediately, their headlights wavering as one vehicle skidded off the trail and crashed into a tree. "What just happened?" Victor asked, shaking. "I don't know," Marcus replied, eyes glued to the rearview mirror. "But it's helping us." The remaining vehicle pressed on, undeterred. Marcus realized they couldn't run indefinitely. Bella was weary, and the creature's cries, while powerful, seemed to drain it. They needed a strategy. "There's a clearing up ahead," Marcus said. "If we can reach it, we might regroup." Victor nodded, though his face remained grim. "And if they catch us?" Marcus didn't reply. The weight of the question lingered heavily. They burst into the clearing, the truck skidding to a halt in the middle of the open space. Marcus and Victor jumped out, quickly checking on Bella and the creature. Bella trembled but appeared stable, her eyes wide with fear. The creature, however, was different. Its iridescent coat glowed faintly in the darkness, and its large, unblinking eyes were fixed on the approaching vehicle. "They're coming," Victor said, voice tense with fear. The pursuing vehicle screeched to a stop at the clearing's edge, its headlights flooding the area with harsh light. The leader of the intruders stepped out, his coat billowing in the wind, signaling his men to encircle the truck. "This is your last chance, Doctor," he warned, cold and commanding. "Hand over the asset, and no one gets hurt." Marcus stepped forward, positioning himself protectively in front of Bella and the creature. "You're not taking them," he declared, voice steady despite the fear coursing through him. "Whatever this is, it's not yours to take." The leader narrowed his eyes. "You don't understand what you're facing," he insisted. "That creature is dangerous. If you don't hand it over, we'll take it by force." Before Marcus could respond, the creature released another cry, its melodic sound growing in intensity. The ground vibrated beneath them, and the air thickened with electric tension. The intruders hesitated, weapons faltering as they clutched their heads in pain. "It's protecting us," Marcus realized, breath catching as the creature's cry peaked. A blinding light erupted from its body, illuminating the clearing and sending the intruders scrambling. When the light faded, the creature stood taller, its presence more commanding than before. Marcus stared in awe, realizing this was just the beginning of what the creature could do. But what was its true nature, and why was it here? The clearing fell silent as the light dissipated, leaving Marcus and Victor blinking in the eerie aftermath. The intruders had retreated slightly, weapons lowered as they whispered among themselves, shaken by what they had seen. In the center stood the creature, its shimmering coat glowing softly in the dimness. It appeared taller, more assured, its unblinking eyes scanning the humans with an unsettling intelligence. "What just happened?" Victor asked, voice barely a whisper. Marcus remained silent, captivated by the creature, which turned its gaze toward him as if trying to communicate. The leader of the intruders stepped forward again, face a blend of fear and determination. "You don't understand what you're dealing with," he said, trembling slightly. "That creature is not a miracle, it's a mistake." Marcus positioned himself in front of Bella and the creature, jaw set. "If it's a mistake, it's yours," he shot back. "But it's alive and it doesn't belong to you." The leader's expression darkened. "It's not about ownership. That thing is a threat. If we don't contain it now, we'll all regret it." As tension escalated in the clearing, the creature emitted another low melodic hum. This time, the sound was softer and more soothing. Bella, who had been trembling, visibly relaxed, her breathing slowing. Even Marcus felt a strange calm wash over him. Victor, however, looked apprehensive. "It's not just protecting us," he murmured. "It's trying to convey something." Marcus turned to Victor, brow furrowed. "What do you mean?" Victor hesitated, then pointed toward the creature. "Look at it. It's not acting like a frightened animal. It's aware, almost as if it knows more than we do." The creature took a few unsteady steps forward, stopping a few feet from the leader of the intruders. The man flinched but held his ground, hand hovering near his weapon. The creature tilted its head, eyes locking onto his with an intensity that made him freeze. Then, incredibly, the creature raised one of its oddly shaped legs and pressed it gently against the man's chest. The leader's expression shifted from fear to something else, recognition or perhaps regret. He stepped back, lowering his weapon. "What are you?" he whispered, voice barely audible. Before anyone could react, the creature let out another hum, its glowing coat pulsing gently. Images flashed in Marcus's mind, brief glimpses of a laboratory, a group of scientists, and reckless experiments. He saw Bella in a sterile room, fear in her eyes as unfamiliar hands touched her. And then he saw the creature, not as it was now, but as a tiny, fragile embryo barely clinging to life. Marcus staggered, grasping his head as the visions faded. "It's showing us what happened," he said, his voice trembling. "It's trying to help us understand." Victor appeared pale as he absorbed Marcus's words. "This was my uncle's doing," he confessed, guilt lacing his tone. "He aimed to create something beyond nature, something capable of adapting, evolving, and surviving in extraordinary ways. And now it exists," Marcus remarked grimly. "But that doesn't inherently make it a threat. We can't decide if it deserves to live." The intruder leader stepped back, his men glancing at him nervously. "We didn't come for a discussion," he said, though his confidence had waned. "But if we don't take it, someone else will, and they won't hesitate to destroy it." The creature fixed its gaze on Marcus, its eyes conveying a silent plea. A surge of determination washed over him. "No one is taking it," he asserted. "If you want to protect it, help us figure out how to keep it safe." The leader hesitated but eventually nodded. "We need to act quickly. Others will be after it shortly." Victor stepped forward, resolution in his expression. "Then we start now. Whatever my uncle set in motion, it's our duty to ensure this creature isn't exploited or harmed." As they prepared to leave the clearing, the creature released one final hum, its glow increasing. Marcus felt another vision come over him, this one depicting the creature's potential future, leaving him both awestruck and fearful. Could this being truly unlock something greater, or would it trigger unimaginable consequences? The storm had calmed, leaving the clearing bathed in the soft light of dawn. The atmosphere was heavy with silence, broken only by Bella's soft breaths and the creature's faint hum. Marcus stood beside Victor and the leader of the intruders, the three locked in a tense standoff. Yet, for the first time, the tension was rooted in uncertainty rather than fear. "We can't linger here," the leader finally said. "If others are on the way, they'll arrive soon." Marcus nodded, thoughts racing. "The clinic," he suggested. "It's the only place I can think of. It's secluded, and we can keep the creature safe while we figure out our next steps." Victor hesitated, eyeing Bella and the creature. "And then what?" he questioned. "What's our end game, Marcus? We can't hide it forever." "We don't need forever," Marcus replied. "Just enough time to understand it, ensuring it's not a danger to itself or anyone else." The leader's expression softened slightly, a hint of agreement crossing his face. "All right," he said, "but know this, if it poses a threat, we'll have no choice but to intervene." The group moved swiftly, loading Bella and the creature into the truck. The drive to the clinic was tense, every shadow and sound heightening their anxiety. The creature remained calm, its glow dimming slightly as if preserving energy. Upon reaching the clinic, Marcus and Victor quickly settled Bella into a recovery stall. The creature stayed close, its melodic hum offering constant reassurance. Marcus marveled at the bond between them, a connection that seemed to transcend biology. "This being, it's more than an experiment," Marcus spoke quietly to Victor. "It's intelligent, even empathetic. Your uncle may have been reckless, but he created something remarkable." Victor didn't respond, his expression conflicted. "Remarkable doesn't mean safe," he finally said. "We still don't know its capabilities." Days turned into a blur as Marcus studied the creature, documenting its behavior and health. It adapted quickly, eating and drinking with ease, even mimicking some of Bella's actions. What fascinated him most was its ability to communicate. The hums, once random, now seemed purposeful, as if the creature was trying to express emotions or ideas. One evening, as Marcus sat in the stall, the creature approached him, tilting its head and locking its large eyes onto his. Then it raised its leg and gently tapped Marcus's chest. In that moment, a vision flooded his mind, a glimpse of a world where humans and creatures like this one coexisted, using their abilities for healing, protection, and understanding. Yet the vision also revealed chaos, greed, fear, and the fallout from humanity's inability to handle such a discovery. Marcus staggered back, breathless. "It's showing me potential futures," he said, voice quaking, "the good and the bad." Victor entered the stall, brow furrowed. "What did you see?" he inquired. Marcus hesitated. "A choice," he said. "This creature could transform everything, for better or worse. But that depends on us." Before they could continue, the clinic's alarm system blared. Marcus rushed to the monitor, heart sinking as he spotted several vehicles approaching. "They found us," he said, voice tight. The leader of the intruders joined him, jaw clenched. "It's not my team," he said. "These people won't hesitate to destroy everything to get what they want." The following moments were a blur of frantic preparation. Victor helped Marcus secure Bella and the creature in a hidden stall while the leader and his remaining men fortified the clinic. As the vehicles halted outside, a voice boomed through a megaphone. "Hand over the creature, or we'll take it by force." Marcus glanced at the creature, its glow intensifying as if sensing the danger. "We're not giving it up," he stated firmly. The attackers advanced, and chaos erupted. Gunfire rang out, shattering the clinic's windows. But just as the situation appeared dire, the creature emitted its most powerful hum yet. The sound resonated throughout the building, compelling everyone to stop. The attackers clutched their heads, disoriented and immobilized. In the ensuing silence, the leader turned to Marcus. "You need to leave," he urged. "Take the creature and go. We'll hold them off." Marcus hesitated, but Victor grabbed his arm. "He's right," Victor insisted. "This is bigger than us. It's about giving this creature a chance." Reluctantly, Marcus loaded Bella and the creature into the truck. As he drove away, the clinic fading behind him, a mix of loss and hope filled him. The creature had shown him what was possible, a future of connection and understanding. But it was now his responsibility to protect that future. As Marcus and Victor sought a safe location, the creature let out one final hum, illuminating the darkness around them.